Well, hello, brother or sister CNCer. I am Garrett with IDC Woodcraft, and I would like to welcome you to this video. This video is going to teach you something about business that, if you understand and start using, will make a remarkable difference in your business as far as sales go. It's called the law of reciprocation. And what I'm going to do is start this off with a story so that you understand how the law of reciprocation, if you use it, will make a huge difference in your sales. So the story goes like this. I live in a little town of Indiana called Madison. And it's one of those artsy towns that everybody likes to go to get away from things. Let's go to Madison and walk around and see all the crafts. And they have lots of festivals here. It's a great little town to be in. In fact, it's like the place where Jeeps migrate to. Outside my window, down on the little corner here, on the weekends, there's a little ice cream cart that shows up. And the person that runs its name is Sally. And Sally has 5 flavors on her cart. Cute little cart just right on the corner, and she does okay. People always want ice cream, especially in the summertime. I've talked to Sally, of course, because she's an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. And I asked her one day, I said, Sally, do you want to increase your sales? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, well then start giving away free ice cream. She said, what? I said, give them free samples. You know, get that cute little plastic spoon and that little tiny cup and offer them a sample. Sally did that, and she said that her business virtually doubled. Why did that happen? It happened because of the law of reciprocation. The law of reciprocation is extremely powerful. It says that for every action there has to be an equal but opposite reaction. So I'm going to explain what has happened with Sally as to why a little tiny scoop of ice cream turned into a $5 sale. Sally has a very good demure about her. She's very conversational. She smiles a lot. So when people come up to her, she's talkative and conversational with them. That alone sets up an emotional, I want to say, higher energy that the customer or potential customer or the passerby feels. And then Sally offers something free to them, a little tiny taste. Here, would you like to try this one? Or better yet, here, I've got free samples. Which one do you want to try? She sets them up in that to say, here, you got to take it, because we as people don't like to say no. So, I'll take the sea salt pretzel, which is my favorite. Now, Sally, who is engaged with them, talking to them, smiling with them, her eyes show that interest in them, has now given them a free gift. They are obligated emotionally to repay Sally. And the only way that they can repay Sally is by buying from her. The thing is, they want to repay her because she engaged with them in a general way. How has your day been going today? And what have you done? What have you seen? What have you? And gave them a free sample. They want to pay it back the favor. They like Sally, and she gave them something. So she gets sales out of it. A little tiny scoop of ice cream turns into a $5 sale. That's the law of reciprocation. I want to use or show you another example of law of reciprocation before I get into how you can apply this to your CNC business and increase your sales. You've probably had this happen to you. You've gone to a new car dealer and started to negotiate out a deal. And you started to price out some of your things with the car, and the salesperson said, let me go talk to my manager. Let me see if I can work this out for you. So they walk away for a little while, and then they come back, and they were able to get maybe a little concession, but they couldn't get it down to the price that you had worked on. What has happened is the salesperson has gone to bat for you against his sales manager, against the corporate bully, who's the corporate money police. and tried to get the deal for you. He couldn't get it quite there, but he was able to get a little bit there. The salesperson has gone to bat for you, and now you have a sense of obligation to that person because they have done something for you. Maybe you walked away with the car, maybe you haven't. But if you've gotten this far into the deal, you have probably ended up closing the new car sale and drove away with the car. The funny thing is you did it largely because of the salesperson. If the salesperson was a butthead, basically, you didn't buy, right? Because the law of reciprocation says that if you are getting negative energy, you're going to return negative energy. But if you are receiving positive energy, you're going to give back positive energy. And this is how it works in business. And a lot of the ways that turns out is the only way you can give back is by making the sale, by making the purchase. The funny thing with this little example, the car salesperson thing, that's used across the board. It's one tactic that salespeople use to get their sales. They make it look like they're going to bat for you. The funny thing is you aren't driving the salesperson, you'll be driving the car. Mentally separate it. Here's what you do in that particular case from now on, just so you know. When he goes to talk to the sales manager, you tell him, say, you know what, I'm going to go with you. You'll throw him for a loop. Well, I'll talk to him. No, I'm going with you because I'm the paying customer, and if we were going to negotiate a deal and he's the person we got to negotiate with, I'm going to go talk to him or her. Just remember that. Give me a thumbs up if you like that little tip. Okay, so do you understand the law of reciprocation? You give something with the right kind of energy, you're going to have a lot more customers buying from you, because the only way they can return the favor from the emotional value that you have given them plus the extra physical gift is by buying from you. And I guarantee you will increase your sales. So let's talk about a couple ways that you can do this to start making more money with your CNC business. And I think I didn't say this, but I'm going to say it now. If you're thinking of getting in CNC business, you have to use this technique. You just have to use it out of the kindness of your heart with positive energy, without expectation that a sale is going to come back. By default, your good energy and your good gift going to the right customers will return in sales. So let's use the first scenario where you are one of those CNCers who puts out a craft booth at a craft show. And in these shows, they tend to have a common theme, and yours is not the only, let's just say you make welcome signs. Yours is not the only welcome sign booth there. Of course, you've got your own unique welcome signs. While a person is walking by and they come to look at your stuff, not only do you have on your table welcome signs, you got some little stuff, maybe bookmarks that have little sayings on them. You've got $50 products and you have a $10 product. Just note that in your mind for a minute. So someone is looking at your stuff and you start talking to them in a way that is not salesy. How can I help you? What do you like here? Start talking to the people like they're a person. How's your day been going? What did you pick up so far? What's your favorite booth that you've been to? What's the most interesting? Start dialoguing, get engaged with them. While you're talking to them, reach in your cooler, pull a Coke out or a water, hand it to them, and then say, you look thirsty, here. And you give it to them. If you pay attention, there's going to be a certain ooh, I didn't expect that. And they're going to take it because you're giving it to them. And you're giving it to them in a kind way. I got to remind you, when you're doing this, don't expect the sale. Just give them a bottle of water. So you look really hot. Here, have this water. And then keep talking to them. And then let the conversation go in its own little way and whatever you got to do. What you're going to see is that customer is at least going to buy one of your little products. The bookmark. They may not buy the welcome sign, but they will probably buy your little bookmark. You will see a market increase in the sales of your small items because you engaged the customer in a way that they felt emotionally like you felt that they were important and you were interested in them and what they were experiencing at the show. And then you gave them something physical out of concern for them. You look hot. Here, have one of these. Or you can reach down and pull out your own bottle of water and just look at them and say, oh, here, have one. Because you're pulling one out and you're just being kind enough to give them one. You are setting up the reciprocal law in your favor because you have engaged them in a positive way and you've given them a gift. They had this sense of indebtedness to return the favor to you. And the only way they can do that is by buying something from you. That's why you have $10 items on a $50 item table with the $50 items. They may not be in the market for a welcome sign, but they're definitely going to be in the market to return the indebtedness to you. So the balance is zero. I hope I've explained this in a way that makes some sense to you, because the law of reciprocation is so fundamental and so deeply ingrained in us that we can almost not resist it. And before I get into the second CNC example, I'm going to give you another example where I almost guarantee you've experienced it and have responded to it by making a purchase. You've been in a grocery store and they have some free tasty samples on a toothpick. And so you go grab one. And suddenly you feel like you have to buy that. Even though there is no obligation. They're just handing it out. Grocery stores know that once you take a bite of that, a lot of customers are going to feel like they need to purchase. Here's the way this works. There's someone sitting there cooking, sweating over this thing, making these cute little samples for you. You're not doing it for the store. You're doing it for the person that's standing right there. You don't even know them. But you have accepted their free sample, and therefore you have purchased the whole box of the product. Sometimes even if you didn't like it, because you felt indebted to them. I hope that one made sense, because that's probably the one that most people experience. And if you got an aha moment, put down there, oh, now I'm starting to see what you're talking about, Garrett. All right, let's talk about the other CNC related example that you can use to get more business. And I'm going to use a real example this time by a guy named Jeff, who is in the CNC Entrepreneurs Facebook group. If you are interested in getting into CNC business or have one and want to work with other people, join that group. The link is down below to join it. And by the way, make sure you answer the questions. People that don't answer the questions get automatic decline, because there's a lot of spammers that do that stuff. They just go from group to group to join. So we just nix them. Make sure you answer the questions. Jeff has listened to my advice about giving extra value to your customers. Give them something they don't expect. And Jeff did exactly that. So he had a customer that wanted a plaque of some sort. And so he made the plaque. And what he did is he took the same design and put it onto a couple of key rings and gave them the plaque, and then gave them the key rings in like a cute little box of some sort. And that customer was so impressed and blown away by the extra generosity of Jeff, they came back and bought like 5 more of these plaques, I guess in their own unique way, and key rings. Jeff basically quintupled his sales by giving 2 key rings, taking a little extra time, adding a little extra value out of the kindness of his heart, not expecting anything back. The person was impressed by his level of uniqueness and doing something that most companies don't do, going a little bit above and beyond what was expected. At the heart of it, that person felt indebted to him for doing something so nice for them. And in order to do that, the only way they could do that was return the favor. The level in which the favor was returned indicates the level in which the indebtedness was set up, or the sense of emotional value that was set up by what Jeff did and through the generosity of his heart. I want to explain this. Jeff didn't do it expecting anything. He did it because he's truly being kind in his heart and giving extra value because we like to give. It was enough of a value to that person to 5x that sale. And they came back and wanted more through the law of reciprocity. When you're in business, you want to find a way that you do something that's above and beyond what anybody else does. And do it in such a way that you do not expect anything in return. That it is truly from the kindness of your heart. That positive energy automatically sets up reciprocation for that positive energy. The extra generosity in a physical item sets up the reciprocal action that person needs to return that favor in a physical way, in this case, buying more of your product. I hope you understand this. I cannot reiterate enough how powerful the rule of reciprocity is and how susceptible we are to it, and how often that is used in life, in general, all over the place, where you have to respond in accordance. It's why we buy stuff we don't even want, because there's something set up in us to end up buying that. We didn't expect it. The grocery store example is perfect. You never went to the grocery store to buy that little sample, but you walked away with it from one little interaction of some lady or guy sitting there cooking up some samples, and you accepted one of those samples. And therefore, you had to buy from them. Give me a comment and subscribe to this channel if you want to be in business with a CNC machine, or if you're brand new with CNC machines. I will teach you how to make money doing this stuff. I will teach you how to work your CNC machine. I will teach you how to do the design work. So like, comment. I'd love to hear your comment, and subscribe. And I hope you have a great day, better tomorrow, and tell me how you're going to use the law of reciprocation in your business now. I'll talk to you later.